So guys, in this video, we'll be designing this simple cart page as you can see on the screen. So this is completely a front-end tutorial where we will be using Material UI and some of the libraries from React like React icons, and we'll be designing this cart page from scratch. So it's a good project for somebody who is trying to learn React JS and Material UI, because I'll be using a lot of Material UI components in designing this. I'll be leaving a link to my GitHub in the description, so you can check out my GitHub and pull this code and reuse it in any of your applications. I'll try to make it as simple as possible and try to explain it in a very simple manner so it's easily understandable. So let's start coding this application now. I have a simple React application that's running on my localhost 3000. So fresh application, and we'll try to replicate the simple cart page in this React application. So I have this React application open here, and to start with, what I'm going to do is I'll install all the required packages in this application that we are going to need. And we are going to need two packages. One of them is Material UI and the React icons. So what I'll do is I'll just search Material UI install into my browser, and here I'll find a link and a command to install Material UI into this application. So I'll copy that and go back to my application, start a new terminal and paste it here to install Material UI. So Material UI is installed into the application. We need one more package in this application, and that is React icons. So I'll just search React icons in my browser, and I'll open the first link that opens, and here I should be able to find the command to install React icons. So I'll copy that, go back to my application, paste it here and install React icons in this application. So now we have all the packages that we need in this application. So I'll start by importing some modules into this application from Material UI. So the first thing we'll import is React use state from React. So this is the first thing that we are going to need here. I'll remove all the things that I don't need. We are going to be needing app.css. I'll just organize it and copy it at the bottom of other imports. So we have installed Material UI into this application, and we have to import some components from Material UI here. So I'll import a card component, a button. I'm going to need a table body, table head, table row, table cell. What else we are going to need? I think that's all for now, and we'll work along the way and see if we have missed something in the imports and import it. So I'm going to be importing all these components from Material UI. Now you can see that we are using a lot of table components here, because if you see this sample application here, you'll see that I've built this cart page in the form of table, and we'll be using Material UI components to build this table. So that's the reason I have imported all the table components. So what do we need from React icons now? So if you look at this application, are we using any icons here? So this is the icon that we are using. That is a cross button here, and we are using some of the icons like plus and the minus sign here. So all these icons we are going to be importing from React icons. So if we look at the documentation of React icons, you can see that there's a big library of icons here. So I'll just go and find something I need from this library. So from this React icons slash AI, I'm going to be needing a minus sign, something that looks like a minus sign. So that's the one I'm going to be picking. How to import this? You will see the command here as soon as you click on the icon. So I'll just copy this, import it here, and I'll also need a plus sign. So I'll just find a symbol that looks like a plus sign, which is here, and I'll click on it. So I'll just copy this and I'll import it from React icons. So even React icons has divided their library into different folders. So I'm also going to need something from the type icons, and I'll just import this delete icon from this. So I'll just search delete. So here you can see that we have found the similar icon that we have used in our application. I'll click on that, copy this import and paste it into my application. So as of now, I think we have all the imports that we need in our application. So we'll start building a cart table using all these components. So I'll just delete all the default code here, and I'll start by just creating a simple div component here. And then inside the div component, we are going to create card, and above this card, we will create a h1 which says your card. So as we are building, I'll also be looking at my screen and just to see the progress, how it's going. I'll just save it. We don't need all these tabs here now, so I'm going to close all this to avoid confusion. So we have only two tabs open. One is the original application. We are going to be looking at this application and we'll be trying to replicate this here. So we got a simple heading tag here that says your card. So I'll try to bring this heading in the center of the page. So we'll put some styling here. We'll say text align to center. So we got it in the center of the page. So inside this card component is where we are going to be building our table using a material UI component, that is table. We have already imported it here. So inside the table, we are going to need a header, which is a table head. And inside this, we are going to need a row, table row. And inside this, we are going to create some cells, table cell, using the table cell component. I'll just put some text here. So you can see it has created one table row with one cell, but here you can see that how many cells we have: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got five cells. Basically, we got 5 columns in this table. So I'm going to copy this table cell 4 times. So we got total 5 cells here. So now you can see that we have 5 cells here. So as of now, I'll not be worrying about the text. I'll just try to replicate this layout here, and we'll change the text later. So we have created a table head now. So our header is all good. So next thing we'll do is let's create a table body inside this. And in this table body, I'm going to create another table cell, which says again, hey, and we can see that it has created another row in this table. And this is the row it's going to be, which says t-shirt small. So we are not worried about the text right now. We'll just keep creating this layout. So in this row, basically we need only one cell because there's only one cell here. Okay. So in the next row, again, we are going to be needing 5 cells. Let's wrap the cell inside the row actually. So we got a table body. Inside the table body, we got a row and there is a table cell. So we are going to copy this table row one more time inside the body. Okay, we got another row here. But in the third row, if you see here, I'm going to be needing 5 cells. This is my third row. I'll copy this 4 more times. Make it 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 here. Let's copy one more time. 5. Okay, so we got 5 cells here. Now you can see that in the second row, the divider is cutting here because we have only one cell here and other cells are kind of empty. So what I want is I want this cell to take the space of 5 cells. So I'll just put one more property here in the table cell which says column span to 5. So basically we are merging all the cells into one cell. So this is the property that we use to merge the cells. So I basically merge all the 5 cells into one because we only need one cell here. So we got 3 rows here. So we are up till here, we are all done. And the fourth row is again similar to the second row. So I'll just copy this row. This is the second row and I'll paste it down. We got fourth row here, which looks similar to this. Now the fifth row is similar to the third row. So I'll just copy the third row here and paste it below. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows as of now. Now we need one row here. Basically, we can divide this into 2 rows. So what I'll do is, and these rows are again taking the entire space. So these rows are basically similar to this row. So I'm going to copy this row here and paste it at the bottom, and we got the sixth row. The only difference between these two rows, if you look at it, is that here the text is aligned at the left and here it's in the center of the entire row. So here along with the column span, I can also say that align to center. So this will align my text in the center. My next row is going to be very similar to this. So I'll just copy this. So I think I forgot to enclose the cell within a row. So I'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to copy this row and paste it one more time. So we got two rows which are similar, that is these two rows. The last row is again very similar to this one, so I'm just going to copy this one more time. So we got the entire layout here. Okay, now we can try and fill all this information and make it similar to this. So I'll go and replace the text one by one. So this should be item and this should be, I'll just copy it from here. Item, price, this should be quantity, and this should be a total. And this should be blank actually. So because you can see that the fifth cell is blank here. So I'll just save it and I'll just see here. You can see that it's changed now. And soon it will be looking very similar to this. So we'll just keep changing the text here. So this says t-shirt S. So this one says t-shirt S. And the next row says, so the first one is going to be empty and price is going to be 30. And my quantity is going to be this component, which is with the plus and minus, and there is a quantity sign here. So we'll leave it for now and we'll just copy the total after that. So we'll leave this now for the quantity. We need to design it like that. And the last one is basically a cross symbol here. So if you remember, we have imported this delete symbol from the React icon. So here on the last one, I'm going to put I save it. Okay, so now you can see that there is a price, there is a quantity which we have left for now, there's total, and there is gross. So we are going to put some CSS over here just to make it look better. So let's put some CSS on this delete cell. This table cell has a delete icon and we will enclose it inside the div component. Okay. And now we can put some styling here on this div component. We'll say we can increase the font size of it to probably 20 pixels. 20 pixels is good. And we can also try to say color to red. Okay, so we got the cross symbol which is looking very similar to this. Let's make it 20 pixels. So we got a cross sign here which we need to delete the item from the cart. Let's make it 25 to be exact. Yeah, 25 is a good size for this cross icon. And this is going to be a hoodie. I'll just change this text again. I'm going to change the price of the hoodie. I'll just change the quantity. I'm going to leave it. I'll just change the total, and the icon is going to be the same. So I'll just copy this div here and paste it here. Now I got the icon looking similar to that. I wrongly put it in place of quantity. I should have put it here, so I'll correct that. So this is going to be this, and the total should be 60. So now we got it on the right place. So now this layout is looking very similar to this one, except the quantity, and we should be able to put some margins here from the left and the right, because here you can see it's starting right on the left. We need some margin here. This is the div component that is enclosing this entire card. So in order to do the margins, I'll just say some styling here. Margin left 5%, margin right should be 5%. So now we got some margins from the left and the right, and so here I think we just put the pricing here. Actually it should be here, so I'm going to correct this. So if I go to my second row, I should put the price here, and this should be blank. So now everything is looking good. We are going to come back to this quantity and design it to make it look like this. But first, let's change the text here. So in the last, this is going to be my grand total. So this is grand total, which is this. And then I'm going to copy the price from here and put it here. So I got the grand total and the price. Probably we should increase the font size of this and this. So I'll try to put some styling here on the table cell and say font weight to bold. So it's going to make it a bold. I'll copy this styling and also put it on the grand total. Let's actually increase the font size here as well, because this is the grand total and should be having the higher font size, 20 pixels. So this font size is good. So I'll just copy this font size and put it here as well. So we got these two in the bigger font. This can be actually a little bit, maybe 18. Yeah, so this is good. So we got the grand total, we got the price, and here should be the checkout button. So in place of this, I'm going to again go back to here and replace this with a div component. Now we need to put a button here. If you remember, we have already imported the button at the top. So I'll just copy that button, put it here. So let's not make it self-closing, because we also need some text inside this button which says checkout. Okay, so we got the button here, but I think this button is going to need some styling. So on this div component, I'll make the background color of this button to black. Okay, and we'll make the color of the text inside the button to white. So this seems to be not working. I think I should cut this entire styling from here and put it directly on the button. So this is better. So we got the button here and we got a background color of black and color is white. So we can see the button here. This is looking good. We can actually increase the size of this button. There's a property on this material UI button which is size, and we can say large. So this button will look a little bit bigger. So here you can see that I have this kind of button, and here it's like a square. So we can actually give some border radius to it. Border radius to 5%. I think 5% is little less. We can say 50%. Yeah, so it's going to make this button in the oval kind of shape, which is good. What if we increase the font size inside this and say 20 pixels? So this is going to actually make the button a little bit bigger. So basically we got the entire cart page, and now we need to do this quantity part. Here you see that quantity part is looking like this. And to make it look like this, we need to design something here. So go back to the quantity part. So this is my quantity here. So I'll just delete this text here and put a div component. We got the div component. Inside this, I'm going to have three more div components. Let's copy this 3 times. Now, if you remember, we have imported some icons here. So I'm going to copy these icons. So the first div is going to be my first icon, which is not plus, actually it should be minus. So my first div is going to be this minus icon. My second div is going to be some number quantity, maybe 1 2 3 something, and my third div is going to have my plus sign. So let's see how it looks. So you can see that now it's looking like that, but we want this to be aligned not vertically but horizontally. So I'll put some styling on this main div that's enclosing all these three components. I'll say display should be flex, and flex direction should be row. It will align them in the row. So now you can see that it's aligned them in the row. We can put some margins around it. We can put some gap, actually gap should be 1%. So it will create some, you can see, spacing between the three components. So gap can actually be 2% as well. So this is good, 2%. And we can put some border around it. So what we will do is we'll put some style here and say border style to OLED. Yeah, so it will create a border around the minus sign. We can say some padding. Yeah, that's better. So I'll just copy this logic here as well and put it on the plus sign as well. Yeah, so we got minus, plus, and the quantity in the middle. So what we can do is we can bring this quantity also in the center, so it looks aligned here. So I'll find where is my quantity on this page. Here is the quantity, and I'll do align to center. So I got the quantity in the middle of the page. I can actually bring all the table cells in the center. So I'm going to copy this align center logic, put it on the price as well, put it on the total. So all of them are in the center. And I'll just go and put it on the price value. It should be in the center here as well. Price and the total came in the center. Now we need to bring this as well in the center and this also in the center. So I'll just copy this logic here as well and here. So we got all the cells aligned in the center. We can copy this component that we designed here, like quantity with the plus and the minus. And let's copy that from here. And in the second row, we are going to replace this text with the same component. So we got the quantity here. Let's say this quantity is actually, let's say it's 1. Okay, so we got 2 items in the cart with the price and the quantity, and there's a plus sign, minus sign, and there is a button to delete the product from the cart. And there's a grand total at the bottom, and there's a checkout. So this design is looking good. Let's see how it looks on the phone. So you can see that it's actually quite responsive. If I reduce the screen size, it's actually responsive. I can check this on the Samsung Galaxy and it still looks fine. So what I'll do is I'll push this code to my GitHub. If you have any doubts in this, you can leave it in the comments. You can actually pull this code. If you want to improve this layout, you can improve it and push it back on my GitHub, and we'll update this video later. So I think as of now this design is good, fully responsive. You can reuse it in your applications. But this time we have designed only the front end. We have not actually made this data dynamically coming from some API. This is totally a front end tutorial. But if you want a tutorial where we just make this data fully dynamic, leave me in the comments. In the next video we'll transform this exact design and make it dynamic, so all these rows which are here are dynamically coming from the data and not a static web page. So see you in the next video. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video.